Brought to you by Harvey Norman.
To the Brisbane Entertainment Centre as the semi-finals of the Phillips Championship tip off exclusively live here on Fox Sports. Coming up, it's the best team in the country this year, the Brisbane Bullets, playing host to the Sydney Kings. And the Kings arrive here having won 4 of their last 5 games, and as having played in the last 5 grand finals, then they know all about what needs to be done in the postseason. Sam McKinnon named as the Defensive Player of the Year earlier this week. He has been a linchpin for the Brisbane Bullets, might even win the MVP. But despite the fact that they have won 18 in a row, they need to start 0-0 here. Steve Carfino, NBL legend, is with me. And the Bullets are under some pressure to maintain this streak.
Yeah, they're under pressure, but they are a great team. I love the intensity Joey Wright has them playing under. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're an unselfish team. They're very aggressive, and they do it at both ends of the floor.
And given that the Brisbane Bullets have broken so many records this year in the NBL and as their franchise, it's only fitting we're here at Boondall, the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, where the Bullets were almost untouchable during their glory days of the mid to late 80s. This is grand final action from 1987, the last time the Bullets won the championship, and they had this whole city behind them, Steve.
And it just seemed like they were going to run championships for such a long time. They had such a great core and great players and the respect of the city, and it just goes to show you when you have the opportunity to win a championship, you really have to go after it, because there are no guarantees that you're going to get back there.
And given the fact that Brisbane haven't won a grand final since then, they are certainly overdue, and their form this year suggests it could be their time now.
And they've had a good team for a number of years now. They've underachieved, and they have not had the breaks. The Sydney Kings, they've won championships, and everybody just took them for granted and say, okay, Sydney with Brian Goorjian, they're going to win championships. And this year, they've really had to fight it, the Sydney Kings. Everything's gone the way of the Brisbane Bullets, but still, that is no guarantee for a championship, especially with a Brian Goorjian team in the way.
And they're doing a very good job of it at the moment. We saw Cal Bruton in those highlights from 1987. While he was starring back then, his son CJ, who suits up tonight for the Brisbane Bullets, was a floor wiper, and I asked him about those memories.
I definitely did. It was always, I still tell Hoagie, I know it's probably not the right time to say it, but yeah, we talk about at times how, wiping the floors and seeing players such as Rad and Audie Matthews, players of the past that have played along here, and I wiped the floors, and one day getting on the court, and then the first day getting on the court with him was like a shock, and then then you realize that hey, he's a great player and a great guy, but then as soon as you cross that line, he becomes your enemy, and then they let you know straight away. And for me, it was like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to, I just want to, hey, it's great to be out here, and I want to showcase, but they start to teach you what it means to cross them lines, which is great.
And speaking of enemies, CJ has made a few today, coming out in the newspapers and saying he wanted out of the Kings 2 years ago and they wouldn't let him go, so he has extra motivation here tonight. But the Kings arrive playing their best basketball of the year. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and Russell Hinder says the Kings are ready.
Yeah, if we look at ourselves and say that we're running a little hot, then these guys must be volcanic right now. They cannot put a foot wrong, whether they play here, play on the road, play wherever they play whoever they play, whatever they do. So we have a few tricks up our sleeve. We know that we're going to have to play some fantastic basketball, and yeah, with any luck we can sneak one out here and go back down to Sydney 1 up.
The Kings are trying to put the clamps on the Brisbane Bullets. The last time these two sides played, Steve, there were 62 fouls, 3 technicals. I hope we don't see a repeat of that, but it could get very physical.
Well, both of these teams aren't going to take a back foot. Sydney's going to come out and play very physical. They have to play that way for 48 minutes. They can't match the talent of the Brisbane Bullets. They're going to have to match them intensity and then some. In Brisbane, the team winning 18 games in a row. You don't win that many games from backing down, so it should be good.
All right, well, let's have a look at how these two teams are going to line up. Brisbane on a 10-day break arrive here fresh with their fans getting behind them, all sorts of theatrics, but this is where it counts.
in the front court. They are loaded. Dusty right card starting to come on late in the season. Sam McKinnon, if he's not the best player in the competition, he'd be second best. He's had an outstanding year. Ebby Ross, super athletic, but again, we talked about them being unselfish. He's another guy that sacrificed a lot of his offense. In the backcourt, talk about the sacrifices. Stephen Black's probably made the most with his shot attempts. He just slots in great at the shooting guard, and C.J. Bruton has done a wonderful job all year long, but I believe he's got another couple of gears to go here in the playoffs. This is the impressive part. Coming off the bench for the Brisbane Bullets, Adam Gibson. He is tremendous with his defensive intensity, and also he gets more confident with the offense. Shooting the basketballs, Brad Williamson. Mick Hill's averaging in double figures. And then you have to go down to probably Dylan Boucher, and he is probably the best sixth man, if not Stephen Hoare being the best sixth man in the competition. And then Mark Bradkey, absolutely loaded.
They have got it going from top to bottom, the Brisbane Bullets. But the Sydney Kings arrive here, well, they are in good shape as well, getting over injury problems for Jason Smith and Bradley Sheridan. And we take a look at their starting lineup, and Ian Crosswhite, the man in the middle, led the game in rebounding against Townsville 4 nights ago as they won through the elimination final. And Mark Worthington top scored in that game, hit 4 of 5 threes. His inside-outside presence will create some matchup problems for Brisbane. And Russell Hinder, top 10 in the league in block shots. As he told us, he is well and truly primed to produce here against Brisbane. In the backcourt, well, Ed Scott came up with a game-high 9 assists against Townsville, orchestrated a tremendous win. And Luke Kendall, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist and part of Australia's Boomers team at the World Championships, is a big game player, as he has proven already this season. Coming off the bench, well, BJ Carter had a career high on Friday night against Townsville, 6 of 8 threes. Jason Smith can do it at both ends of the floor, as does Bradley Sheridan. Jerome Beasley had his breakout game against Brisbane back on January 14 with a career high 27, and Cameron Tovey also a good addition off the bench for the Sydney Kings. Both these teams with plenty of talent, and Joey Wright has been named Coach of the Year, Steve, but I might give the edging in the coaching to Brian Goorjian after that performance against Townsville.
Well, there's been some great coaching jobs throughout the league. Scott Fisher's done a great job with the Perth Wildcats as well. Nobody expected them to make any noise in the competition, so a lot of great coaching has gone on this season. Gordy McLeod got the Singapore Slingers to the playoffs, but I tell you what, Brian Goorjian, Joey Wright, going at it tonight should be a fantastic game.
And who is going to win this game? Can Brisbane make it 19 in a row, or will the Sydney Kings continue their dominance over Brisbane in the playoffs? Who do you like, Steve?
It's a tough one. I've been tossing and turning all day, but I got to go with Brisbane. I just feel like 18 in a row. They are just loaded with talent. They're loose. Watching them in the warm-ups, they're just playing like the team that doesn't have anything to lose, and they've got it all to lose, and you got to like that confidence.
Well, they can't accuse you of being Sydney-centric now, but I'm going with the Kings. Expect an upset. It's Sydney, Brisbane, coming at you right after this.
See it all tonight.
The Brisbane Bullets, well, they are looking every bit championship favourites.
We are now officially the #1 team in the NBL.
You've got to have a level of cockiness to win a championship, and I think we've got that.
They are doing it all, Brisbane.
This should be Brisbane's year, but like anything, they're in a battle.
Be a player now, all right? Be players now. CJ's going for it.
The former Sydney Kings star drives a nail into their coffin.
There's a long history between these two teams.
Brisbane's season is over. Full time in Brisbane, and Brian Goorjian's team is going to the grand final for the 8th time in the past 10 years.
What happened in the past has nothing to do with what's going to happen now.
It's a basketball game, fellas. Get into them and play defense.
Let's make a play here. Make a play. Hey.
We're here to win this thing.
Welcome back to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Tremendous atmosphere here as the Bullets and Kings exchange pleasantries just prior to the tip. Brisbane have lost their last 8 semi-finals. Does that mean they're overdue, or does that mean they can't produce in the postseason? A 20-year drought in the National Basketball League in terms of a championship. And Michael Aylen will get the NBL semi-finals underway. He's working the match with Billy Mildenhall and Jeff Weeks. And the former Kings, CJ Bruton, will bring Brisbane to the right of your screen as they control the tip. Here's Reichert, shut down by Hinder, spins baseline off the window, wouldn't tumble. And Crosswhite grabs the rebound.
I think this matchup's going to be one to watch too. Ed Scott is playing some great ball now. He's really getting hot at the right time of the year.
Crosswhite lost the handle under pressure from McKinnon. Reichert goes to Stephen Black with Ed Scott on the retreat. Now Reichert down low. Good footwork against Hinder, who protected the rim well though, and Sydney come up with another stop. Ed Scott zigzagging one way, back the other, finds Kendall firing over Reichert, can't convert. Nice work from Worthington. The offensive rebound may have travelled under pressure. That's the call from Billy Mildenhall.
Good aggressive offensive rebound, but Brisbane with their athleticism doesn't mean you can just convert on a putback.
60 seconds played, term number 1. Bruton against Ed Scott elevates. He can't find the target either. A combined none of 4. Some semi-final nerves to shake out here in the early dispatches as Worthington takes it from Ed Scott. Now Kendall dumps it down low where Crosswhite is operating against Sam McKinnon. Shot clock rolls to 7. Crosswhite's fall away off the front of the rim. And Bruton now looking to put some energy into the offense. He goes coast to coast and brings the fans alive.
His ability to put the ball on the floor through traffic, not many in the league better.
That's got Brisbane going. Let's see what Sydney can come up with. We've played almost 2 minutes. They are yet to open their scoring account. Shot clock to single digits again. Crosswhite for the triple. That's not the shot that Brian Goorjian wants to see his team come up with at the offensive end. Stephen Black to Sam McKinnon. Been good from long range all season. Can't convert initially here. Bruton baseline. Comes up empty as well as Hinder. Grabs the rebound. Hands off to Ed Scott. Drills past Bruton, feeds Luke Kendall, who works back to the top of the key. Ed Scott gets a good look at the 3, a reluctant 3 it is, but it's all the bottom of the net.
He maybe doesn't want to shoot that. He wants to put the ball on the floor and doesn't like to settle for the jumper, but wide open, had no choice, and drilled it.
Reichert. CJ Bruton guarded by Ed Scott. Thomas in the baseline. He decides to take it. Ball deflected out of court. And Sydney doing a good job at the defensive end. Restricted Brisbane to just 1 of 6 from the field so far in the match.
That's why you got to allow him a couple of turnovers a game, because his aggression can get you easy hoops like that.
Down low in a confined space is Ian Crosswhite getting the job done against the D from Dusty Reichert. The Kings have scored 5 without reply. Almost 3 minutes played, term number 1. Ebiara taking Worthington on. Foul will be assessed on the Sydney Kings. It's the first in the match.
Brisbane's ability to put the ball on the floor, 1 to 5. This one's Ebiara playing the 3 spot. Small forward, they're hard to match up on because every single guy can shoot the 3 as well as put it on the floor that well.
Stephen Black regathers the ball, works baseline, takes on Kendall. Can't complete it, but Stephen Black will go to the free throw line. He's shooting the ball at 87% this season to be number 3 in the NBL.
And Stephen Black, such a threat to pull up and shoot at any time, can also shoot the step back. And he has those pull through shake moves, step back 3, floaters. You name it, he's got it in his arsenal of scoring.
Coach of the Year, Joey Wright, for the 2nd time, having also won it in 2004. But head-to-head against Brian Goorjian. It's 13-6 for Goorjian against Joey Wright. Big edge is Ed Scott. Works in the direction of Crosswhite, who finds Hinder in the opposite wing. Now Kendall got a good look at it. It rattles around the rim and tumbles. The Sydney Kings have hit 2 threes so far. Brisbane yet to convert from long range.
Now, even though the Sydney Kings score a 3 on that one, the ball was deflected, and that's a positive thing for Brisbane.
McKinnon looking to open his scoring account. Forced into a tough shot by Russell Hinder, but Sam McKinnon shooting the ball at 56% from the field this season. Top 10 in the league. And now an offensive foul is called on Luke Kendall as he goes over the top of Stephen Black.
You really got to slow yourself down against this pressure. They just feed off of the fact that you get into a frenzy against it. They're all athletic and in the passing lanes. But when a guy is guarding you one-on-one, just take your time, beat him. You can see the double team coming, you can see the traps coming, and then you attack him.
Crosswhite replaced on the floor by the captain, Jason Smith. Stephen Black in traffic, firing a tough one against multiple defenders, never looked likely. And Ed Scott gets it from Worthington. Wheeling and dealing, needing support provided by Worthington. Back to Ed Scott. 10 on the shot clock for the Sydney Kings. And Ed Scott gives it to Worthington, who puts it on the floor against Reichardt. Blows past CJ Bruton as well, drawing contact in the process. Worthington will go to the free throw line.
You sum that one up, Case. You talk about his inside-outside threat. His outside threat got Dusty Reichardt to bite on that shot fake and putting it on the floor. He's so good at that and so deceptively strong once he gets his body into the paint.
Worthington gets to the free throw line more than any other Sydney player in the regular season. He took 183 free throws, and no other King was in 3 figures in that category. He can only make the front end there. Bruton hands off to Sam McKinnon. Reichardt sneaking backdoor against Russell Hinder to get a layup for the Brisbane Bullets to open his scoring account. Hinder to Ed Scott, guarded by CJ Bruton. On the shot clock for the Kings. Hinder hands over to Jason Smith. He works on Reichardt as well, who got a piece of the ball. Sydney Kings working hard. Russell Hinder grabbing the offensive rebound and drawing a foul. He will go to the free throw line.
That's a great cut. That's what Dusty Reichardt does. Got a block shot on the other end as Jason Smith goes to the basket. Dusty gets a piece of that. But see, even Jason Smith not at 100%. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's going to face guard somebody. He's going to make it tough for him defensively. He's going to go to the glass. He's going to come hard on curl cuts. Even though that shot was blocked, that puts Russell Hinder in a position for an offensive rebound.
Hinder was 6 of 7 from the free throw line against Townsville, but never looked likely there. Worthington keeps it alive for the Kings. They have another opportunity here. Worthington against Sam McKinnon, the best defender in the country. Worthington takes him on, forces the issue, and draws a foul. 3rd team foul on Brisbane. Likewise, Sydney has 3 fouls so far in the match.
And Brisbane have tremendous depth, but they can't afford to get Sam McKinnon into foul trouble. Doesn't get into foul trouble too often. That's a guy that doesn't bite on many fakes, and he doesn't bite on many pump fakes as well.
Kings having their way with Brisbane. The rebound count at the moment is 8-4 in Sydney's favour. McKinnon finally puts a stop to it, off and running as Brisbane charge up the floor. Reichardt's available, but he bobbled the pass. In fact, as Ed Scott reaching in to dislodge the ball, he picks up his first personal.
Well, it doesn't take anything to get Sam McKinnon motivated this year. You know, not very happy about that last foul being called on him. He's going to check out of the game and go to the bench. Dylan Boucher's going to come in for him, but that last time down, got that rebound and motored through 3 or 4 people and pretty much got that free throw opportunity for his teammate.
Adam Gibson into the game. He will restart for Brisbane. Nice hands from Jason Smith. He steals a pass intended for Ebiora. The Kings with an opportunity to build on their 2-point lead. Middle stages, term number 1. Hinder shows it to Riker. Now finds Jason Smith firing the triple. That's off the money. Riker the rebound. Stephen Black has Ebiara, Dylan Boucher and Gibson joining in at the offensive end. Black goes solo, couldn't convert. Jason Smith with it now. And the Kings with an opportunity. 3-on-3 fast break. Ed Scott trying to look off the D, but they were having none of it. Now Jason Smith, top of the key, finds PJ Carter, who's full of confidence, coming off a career high against Townsville. 5 on the shot clock for Ed Scott. Needs to get busy. He's waving away the help. Pulls the trigger on the 3. It rattles around the rim and tumbles. The Sydney Kings are 3 of 5 from deep. Brisbane yet to convert.
He knew exactly how much time he had. Had a little bit of a mismatch. Now he had Ebiara, and it was just a good move.
Here's Ebby at the other end, taking it back at the Sydney Kings, and he opens his scoring account. Jason Smith with Worthington in support. And Ed Scott in the corner. PJ Carter, 6 of 8 Friday night. Opening attempt here off the money. And Gibson, caught in a mismatch against Russell Hinder, is forced to foul the Sydney big man.
He almost got away with it too, because he didn't extend his arms. Watch, he's got a big guy right in front of him, and he pushed right as he was starting to elevate. He almost got away with it. It was a bit of a late whistle.
14 fouls apiece. 5.5 to play. Both teams need to be circumspect now. Beasley joins in tonight. The pass by Reichart. And did a good job to keep it alive for Mick Hill as well. Fresh onto the floor. Reichart and Ebiara, the only 2 starters out there for Brisbane at the moment. Here's Ebby elevating against PJ Carter and knocking down the jumper. Back-to-back baskets for Ebiara. Foul called on Dylan Boucher. Free throws to come for the Sydney Kings. Brisbane commit 26 fouls per game on average, which is the most in the NBL. They're not afraid to extend the D as far as they can, and even over the line on occasions.
Dylan Boucher questioned Billy Mildenhall on that one. And he said Billy gave him a great explanation too. You got to get it clean, can't get a little bit of his arm, because it is a low percentage play.
Luke Kendall's been great from the stripe this year. 87%, 4th best in the NBL. Off and running, Mick Hill looking to take Kendall on. Lost control of it, may have travelled, and that's the whistle provided by Jeff Wicks and Bill Mildenhall. Timeout called here. 5:06 left on the clock. Term number 1. The Sydney Kings with a 3-point lead. 15-12 is the equation.
Well done, everyone, making some good noise. I like that. But who wants the cannon fire there? The ref show. You just got to make noise, and it will come your way.
We spoke to CJ Bruton before the game, and we asked him were the Brisbane Bullets ready to make this their time against Sydney?
I think so. I wouldn't be in this situation, and I know I can sit here and tell you that, you know, no, we're not ready, or yeah, we're ready, and pat me on the back because I'm just saying it to say it. I'm saying it truthfully that I think that we're ready for a challenge like this. Obviously, the team has been built like this for such a certain situation, and the situation has arisen. We finished top of the ladder. They haven't done that in I don't know how many years, and now that the fact that you're back there, it's not rocket science on how you got there. Obviously, the nucleus was here before I got here, and obviously you've added 4 or 5 pieces to the puzzle, and we've all had to learn to adapt to the system and the group of players that we're playing with, and we've done that to the best of our ability.
Well, he's been quietly efficient this year, CJ Bruton, 14 points per game. 4 assists to be number 13 in the NBL in that category. Was 4th in MVP voting last year for the Sydney Kings, all NBL starting point guard. And for the Kings to get back to the Final Four after losing such an important piece of the puzzle again is a credit to the Sydney franchise. Worthington and Kendall, only 2 starters on the floor for Sydney at the moment. They go to Beasley, muscling up against Bradkey and throwing it down to score another $100 for the Red Dust role models. That's impressive from Jerome Beasley, who I remind you had his best game of the year against the Bullets in Brisbane. 27 points and was dunking on everyone. He gives Sydney a 5-point lead as the shot clock rolls to single digits. Bradke puts the big screen on Jason Smith. Gibson forced to fire the three, and it was a good option as he comes up with their first triple of the match. It took almost 8 minutes. Kendall gets it back to BJ Carter and Worthington. They needed 7 of the 8 seconds to get over the halfway line. Worthington blows past Boucher, takes on multiple defenders and draws a foul. Worthington to the free throw line where he is 2 of 4 so far in the match.
Look at this quick move by Beasley as he gets around Mark Bradke. And he will thrive on that matchup. No disrespect to Mark Bradke, but all the other games he's been chasing an undersized center around at the three-point line.
Wait for it, no arms, guys.
And that's how you beat the pressure, too. You get up there, make them pay, spread them out, and their defense isn't set, and take advantage of their one-on-one matchups, and Worthington's a tough cover.
Little over 4 minutes left, term number 1. Mick Hill gets it from Adam Gibson. Waves away Ebiara, wants a screen again from Bradke, who rolls to the hoop. The big man available. He's fouled by Mark Worthington. Dylan Boucher with some dunking practice. Bradke will be off to the free throw line as Worthington picks up his second personal.
You see at the top of the screen, it's Beasley had a really big show, so he was late to get back to Bradke. And Worthington was trying to bide him some time with a big check of the big fella. And to move Mark Bradke that much, you really have to put head and shoulders into that check.
He's the greatest rebounder the NBL has ever seen statistically. But the Kings are looking at him as a 38-year-old injury-prone commodity, maybe past his best. That's no disrespect to him. But they're looking at the positives. Worthington's going to have to go a long way to get Jason Smith involved here. 3/4 of the court. Kendall against Bradke and Boucher, who did a good job to close him down. Beasley feeling confident, firing the turnaround jumper to add another 2.
I thought that was 5 seconds because the count still goes when the ball's in the air.
Mick Hill to Boucher, who's left alone, goes hard to the rim. Worthington stepped out of his way, but has been called for the foul. In fact, Kendall will pick up the foul, and now that's 3 on their starting shooting guard.
Just a little reach in before Worthington was able to step out of the way. Once again, Dylan Boucher will be aggressive right when he needs to. He can go a whole game without shooting, and all of a sudden he turns the corner and hits a runner.
Represented New Zealand at the August World Championships in Japan and led his team in steals, hustle plays. Not the best foul shooter. Just 46% so far this season.
Which is surprising because he's got a nice looking stroke.
Here's Ed Scott, top of the key. Finding Beasley rolling to the hoop. Bradke got his body down there, deflected the ball out of court with assistance from Boucher. 10 on the shot clock for Sydney. BJ Carter goes to Hinder, who fires over CJ Bruton a little too hard off the window. Brisbane up the floor swiftly. CJ Bruton goes down low where he runs into the big man, Jerome Beasley. CJ Bruton to go to the free throw line as Beasley gets his first personal. 7 fouls on Sydney, 6 on Brisbane.
Boy, CJ came dangerously close to traveling. Anytime you catch the basketball in the full run and don't put it on the floor right away. Caught the ball and made a pivoting move, faked in and went out to the outside, all without putting the ball on the floor. You come dangerously close to traveling.
CJ Bruton playing game number 299 in the NBL. 83% foul shooter in his career. 82 this season and showing us evidence of that. Here's Ed Scott. Across the halfway line. Inside the last 3 minutes, term number 1. Kings with a 2-point buffer at the moment as Hinder gets it from Jason Smith back to Ed Scott. Now in the corner, Hinder against Bradke on the retreat, confronted by Riker, coughed up the ball. Mick Hill ahead of Gibson, but he couldn't find a passing lane. They slow it down. Good hustle from the Kings to get back on D. Now Sheridan's got some problems against CJ. Couldn't complete it, and Beasley off and running. Now Jason Smith. Ed Scott.
That's good transition defense by Sydney.
Ed Scott elevates from the foul line, taken out of it as well, and will go to the free throw line. CJ Bruton in the vicinity, but the foul is going to be called.
And this is good defense by Brisbane. Look at that help. And he tries to throw a pass. It goes right into the feet of CJ Bruton. Then right after that, Sydney showed some great transition defense by preventing Brisbane by getting a score off that turnover. It's not often that Brisbane won't score after they get you to turn the ball over.
Well, Ed Scott arrived as a late replacement after the Kings cut E.J. Rowland. Played 18 games in the regular season. Came through the distinguished franchise at Clemson University. Played in Poland most recently. Can't convert there as Bradke holds off Crosswhite to drag down the rebound. Now Bruton wants to take it at Ed Scott. Plenty of contact, no whistle, loose ball. The referees decide we'll go with the jump, and the possession arrow is with the Sydney Kings. They will get it.
Go ball!
See how Billy was the trail ref on that one? He doesn't get bluffed into when guys start doing a lot of acting. He's looking, and he's got a good angle on who's drawing the contact. And he saw that CJ was leaning in, no call when he fell.
Ed Scott brings Sydney forward inside the last 2 minutes, term number 1. Harassed by Adam Gibson. Now Hinder ready to fire the triple. Caught the front of the rim. Sheridan in over the back of Mick Hill. Crosswhite in the vicinity as well. Brisbane are going to walk the length of the floor to take some more free throws. Both of these teams like to play a physical style. They like to challenge the referees. And the referees are putting their stamp on the match as well. They've called 15 fouls here in the first term.
Well, just by that play alone, Mick Hill has already got the rebound. And they just challenge, like you said, every play, even plays that are made already.
Spike coming off the bench. Mick Hill gets to the free throw line more than any other player for Brisbane. It is his forte. He's averaged 10 points per game this season, but 8 per game against Sydney. It's a 1-point ball game here. Ed Scott again using 7 of the 8 seconds to get over the halfway line. Tovey confronted by Stephen Black. Has to relieve the pressure and goes to Ed Scott, who now has single digits on the shot clock. Hinder kicking to Sheridan, who works inside Mick Hill. Down on the baseline, Tovey, a well-timed pass from Sheridan. Excellent teamwork from the Kings.
The Sydney Kings are using the pressure that Brisbane put on them against them. Look how they go here, drive, and watch the play away from the basket. Cameron Tovey's man loses vision of him. He goes right to the baseline and creates a good angle to receive the pass and gets the score. That is a well-oiled machine, the Sydney Kings.
Tovey can't convert the back end, but Hinder keeps it alive for the Kings. Continue to have the edge in the rebound count. 12-8 is that equation at the moment as Crosswhite looks to post up Bradke. Reaching in, Bradke dislodges the ball, took Crosswhite out of his rhythm. They go back there again, single digits on the shot clock. Crosswhite determined, but can't get it off. Nice work from Ed Scott to keep that alive. 2 on the shot clock for Hinder. It's rejected by Bradke, but it's tipped in by Sheridan.
That is an unbelievable break. Not only the tip-in goes in, but it beat the shot clock.
Kings again lead it by 5. It's the biggest margin we've seen so far in the match, and now Brisbane with single digits on the shot clock as Gibson takes on Tovey. Tries to draw a foul. Had nothing doing there. Rijkaard unsuccessfully. Kings with another opportunity in the shot clock. 7 seconds inside the game clock as we head towards quarter time.
Kings aren't bothered by their pressure. And also, they're only giving them one shot on the other end of the floor.
Kings have led Brisbane at quarter time twice in their 3 previous meetings this year. The Bullets have had the better of it, though, in terms of the results, as Ed Scott delights the fans with another 2. And now Stephen Black finds Rijkaard going to the hoop. He banks 2 off the window. And that is all for the first term here. And at the end of one, the Sydney Kings have a 5-point lead. It's Sydney 28, Brisbane 23 here on Fox Sports.
Well, Joey Wright not real happy with the defense here. As Mark Brankey wasn't quite sure who he had. Makes the block shot. Bradley Sheridan with the tip before the shot clock expires. And we got plenty of highlights here in the first quarter. First, C.J. Bruton making himself known in transition, pointing to his family. Ed Scott, look, he don't want to take that, but a good result for Sydney as he bangs home the 3-point shot. Then it's Sydney with their aggressive play, attacking the extended pressure of the Brisbane Bullets. Sam McKinnon gets into the mix with a little turnaround jump shot. That was his field goal for the first quarter. And then a great backdoor cut by Dusty Rijkaard. Brisbane doing what they do best. But Ed Scott with the shot clock winding down, rattles one, goes down outside the 3-point line. One of the many athletic scorers for the Brisbane Bullets, Ebiara. It's his turn to score. Dusty Rijkaard in a nice little post and pop with a pick. Ebiara does the rest of the business. Ed Scott again, boy, reluctant to shoot that 3, but he bangs it down for Sydney. They got it going in every way. Adam Gibson with a 3-point shot. But Sydney with Jerome Beasley getting into the mix. 2 for 2 in the first quarter for Sydney. Great signs for them. Bradley Sheridan, Sydney Kings with some great ball movement away from the basket. Cameron Toby and the Sydney Kings ending this thing with a great flurry. Bradley Sheridan with some luck and some skill going together. That's a dangerous combination. And then Brisbane get the last score of the quarter. We got ourselves a ball game, 28-23 here in Brisbane. Let's check out the top scorers. Ebiara on a well-rounded attack for the Brisbane Bullets has 4, along with C.J. Bruton and Dusty Rijkaard. For Sydney, Ed Scott was doing a lot of work, not just for himself, but his teammates. Had 9 assists in the last game against Townsville. Luke Kendall had a quiet 5, and Jerome Beasley, that is great work for them. They got him some good touches, and then he got them some good results with 4, as well as Mark Worthington Cross-White with 2.
Set to go, term number 2. There's Brian Curl, the man who coached Brisbane to their last championship success at this venue in 1987. It's so much for basketball in Queensland, they'll probably never be able to repay him, but a championship this season would certainly impress him. 2 Kings go down. A wet spot on the floor. Kendall goes back to Ed Scott. Kings with a 5-point advantage going into term number 2. Ed Scott takes on McHill. Cross-White assisted getting Rijkaard out of the path, and Ed Scott is now 4 of 4 from the field. He has 11 points to lead all scorers.
Boy, he just kills you. When you go behind the screen, he gets a running start at you. I'll have to break that one down and show you what I'm talking about a little later in the game.
Stephen Black goes to McKinnon. Fires the 3. Can't convert. McGill getting the offensive rebound. Lost the handle under pressure. Now Hinder off and running. Cross-White and Worthington ahead of him. Now they set it up around the perimeter.
That looked like a disaster waiting to happen, didn't it? That fast break.
Worthington stops and pops for the triple, and it's all the bottom of the net for Mark Worthington, who now has 7 points and a game-high 5 rebounds. The Kings have a double-figure lead for the first time in the match. Ebiara looking to ease the situation for Brisbane, comes up with a nice finish. Hinder, skip pass for Ed Scott. Now Worthington posting up Stephen Black, harassed by a double team, looks to relieve the pressure, goes to Hinder. Shot clock to 5, Kendall back to Worthington, who fires unsuccessfully. Hinder, offensive rebound, now Worthington. The Kings have had plenty of it. 16 rebounds to 9. Shot clock again down to 10 as Worthington posting up Reichart. Surveys his options, looks to penetrate. Good D from Brisbane. Ball knocked out of court by the Kings.
This is Ed Scott breaking him down off the dribble. Nice, strong move, goes right into the body of Adam Gibson. He never really got off of his hip, and he is tough with those floaters.
Mick Hill against Ed Scott. Now taking over Hinder. Finds Ebiarat lurking and penetrating. Got plenty on it, and Ebiarat's putting on quite a show against his former team. His 8 points are on 4 of 4 shooting. Ed Scott again struggling to get Sydney into their offensive set. This Brisbane pressure hasn't been rewarded too much so far, but it's only a matter of time. And the shot clock winds to single digits. Ed Scott goes solo. This time can't convert. His first miss so far tonight. And Brisbane are looking ominous as they go to McKinnon. He pushes Hinder out of the way. Gets Stephen Black an open three. He splashes that. Brisbane have scored 7 without reply. Close to within 3, and Brian Gorgian's had enough. Timeout called by the Sydney Kings, with Brisbane coming alive.
Wasn't much you could do about that one. Sam McKinnon just mowed down his defender, and then the help came. Great help from the weak side, but Sam, with the presence of mind, got it to the wide open Stephen Black, and this is a good quick timeout because Brisbane can run them off quick.
Well, this is what Russell Hinder had to say pre-game about going up Mark Bradke.
Well, if you asked me that in about 10 days, I'd probably give you a different answer, but that man's a legend. You got to respect. No, nothing but respect for Mark Bradke. He's an absolute phenomenal player and has been a stalwart for the entire league, and is just a class act on and off the court. You can't question anything he's ever done. So to try to be on the same court at the same time as him, it's going to be something I look back, and same as a lot of these guys, Sam McKinnon, Dusty Reichart, CJ Bruton, I'm going to look back and have something to tell the little fella about in a few years to come.
Well, this season, Mark Bradke became not only the player with the most rebounds in NBL history, but he overtook his former teammate Mark Davis on top of the offensive rebound count as well. He already had the defensive in the total. Now he's got all three, and they're numbers that perhaps we'll never see again in the National Basketball League. Playing game number 549 tonight. 6,242 rebounds coming into this one.
Good look at Sam McKinnon. That's like the player of the future, the guy that can do everything. And it's so hard for these centers to match up with the style of play over here, as they're running them out 30 feet away from the basket, and you got to be able to defend out there and slide your feet.
Kings need some offense here. Brisbane are on their best run in the match so far. Have scored the last 7. Crosswhite didn't get enough elevation there to convert on that occasion. And Ebiarat streaks up the floor, going baseline. Stephen Black unsuccessfully. Now Ed Scott blows past Stephen Black. Needs help provided by Kendall. Crosswhite rolling to the hoop. And an offensive foul is called on Ian Crosswhite as he drags Ebiarat to the floor.
And he makes the cut. Good call. I thought because it was a late whistle, he just wasn't going to call that because Brisbane got the ball anyway. But it was definitely the right call.
Extended pressure from the Kings, almost 4 minutes played here. Term number 2. Brisbane have grabbed the momentum. McKinnon gets it from Black. Pulls up in front of Russell Hinder, and that looked automatic. McKinnon gets his team back to within a single point.
Now Brisbane's starting to knock down shots. Ebiarat's hit a couple of floaters. This is when Brisbane are at their toughest. They crank up that defense, and then they match it with scores on the other side.
Shot clock to 10 for the Sydney Kings. Worthington wanting to post up Reichart. Needs to get busy with 5 on the shot clock now. Penetrating, surrounded by defenders, and off the window, Worthington gets another 2 for the Kings. Brisbane coming back hard quickly. Ebiarat off the money. Reichart over the back of Worthington, can't keep it alive. Sydney through Ed Scott, look for more penetration in all sorts of traffic. Couldn't finish it. And is now being called for the foul. His second personal.
Shot clock winding down. Look at the strength on this move. Takes the hit, puts it up there nice and soft, gets the roll.
Reichardt brings Brisbane up the floor. Hinder working hard to stay with him. Shut down by the double team. Bruton top of the key. Caught the front of the rim. And none of 2 from long range. CJ Bruton, and 1 of 5 from the field so far. 5 minutes played, term number 2. Kings by 3 with a shot clock at 10. Hinder penetrating against Reichardt, who reaches in and picks up his first personal and the first team foul on Brisbane in this period.
Rusty sees a gap and goes for it. You know, right there, as Dusty Reichardt reaches in, Russell Hinder's had some good games late in the season and starting to play his best basketball here in the playoffs, but that still would have been a tough shot over Sam McKinnon if he didn't foul him. He was already going to have to elevate. Have him make that shot.
Brian Goorjian has won 11 of his 16 playoff matches against Queensland teams. I don't think he's picking on them. He has that sort of success rate against most states in Australia. Little over 5 minutes done, term number 2. Kings back to a 5-point lead. That's where we started this term. Stephen Black works to McKinnon, who gets an immediate double team. Boucher in the passing lane, but couldn't handle it. Little off balance, and now Sydney with another opportunity as Worthington posts up the best defender in the NBL, Sam McKinnon, spinning one way and drawing contact. McKinnon picks up his 3rd personal foul. Middle stages of term number 2. That's not going to please Coach Joey Wright.
Dare I say, with Sam McKinnon, they're not going to send a double team down. Dare I say they're going at him, going right at him. And sometimes you can give a good defender too much respect. And Sydney, it's as if they're targeting him with Worthington, trying to get him into foul trouble. And the best place for Sydney, for Sam McKinnon to be, is right there over on the bench.
Worthington has been the go-to man. He's top scorer for the Sydney Kings in 3 of their last 4 matches, including 28 last Friday night to demolish the Townsville Crocodiles. Worthington, impressive start to the match. He has 11. Ed Scott has 11. The Brisbane Bullets are being paced at the moment by this man, Ebi Ura, who has 8 points. Sheridan going down is called for the foul. It's the 3rd on Sydney in this term, the 1st on Sheridan.
A little unfortunate because he was already out of control. I think that's what Bradley Sheridan was shaking his head about, the fact that he had done the job of getting him out of control already and then just collided with him.
Kings have scored the last 6 after Brisbane had scored the previous 9, a seesawing affair from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Middle stages, term number 2. Ebi Ura likes the look of it and drains another 3. He has 11. Single-handedly keeping Brisbane alive at the moment.
See, that's what Brisbane have that Sydney don't. They don't have, when their offense breaks down, they don't have a number of guys that create something out of nothing.
Ebi Ura has hit 5 of Brisbane's 12 field goals so far. Single digits on the shot clock now. Beasley down on the low block, wrestling with a couple of defenders, and has been called for the offensive foul.
Both of these guys going at it.
I'm on the ball at 94.9. I can't call across the other side.
Oh, that's weak.
I'm on the ball.
I have trouble with that. Ever since he's been over here, it seems like everybody's is anxious to call things on him, and that's soft.
Pass from CJ Bruton intended for Ebi Ura goes astray. The Kings come forward again. Jason Smith to Worthington. They sag off him, so he looks to penetrate. Puts the shoulder down against CJ Bruton and helps himself to another 2. Worthington has 9 of Sydney's 13 in this term, but Ebi Ura at the other end leading the charge for Brisbane. Kept alive by Boucher. Now Ebi's at it again. Picks up the dribble. Plenty happening here at the moment as we move inside the last 5 minutes. Term number 2. Nice hustle from Luke Kendall to keep it alive after it ricocheted off the head of Mark Worthington. Sheridan bounces his way over the halfway line and is keen to give it up. Timeout call by the Sydney Kings. 4:45 left on the clock here until half-time. And after starting this term leading by 5, Sydney have a 6-point edge here.
That is a great timeout by Brian Goorjian. They are looking shaky with that pressure that Brisbane are putting on them. It's only a matter of time before they have 2 or 3 turnovers that result in baskets and dunks for Brisbane.
We don't know. Let's go. Hey, slide in. We're doing a good job, man. All right? It's full court pressure. You've got to do this, JB. I keep talking. You got to use your feet. The getting the post feed, you just can't. You got to work to get a post feed. You got to fill that high spot in motion for high-low. All right? Motion, elbow hits, thumb. Let's run a quick thumb here with him on that middle pick and roll. Get down there, move off the post feed. Move off the post feed.
Great job, fellas. No, boys. Shoot them, stop.
Hey, movement off the post feed. Make sure the D-trans talk the on ball. Elbow hits, motion, middle pick and roll.
Great job, boys.
King,
Great job.
middle pick and roll.
I like that timeout so much because you're not going to look good the whole game against Brisbane. But when your stuff is starting to break down, bang, quick timeout, couple of adjustments, something to run so you can execute something, get to a spot so you don't have to throw anything for guesswork.
Kings are going to have to play the last 4 and a bit minutes here of this term without committing a foul as well. Well, Brisbane are going to the free throw line. Shot clock to 4 as Kendall elevates. Overdid it, had it straight, and now Ebiara off and running. Looking for options. Bradkey top of the key. Now CJ Bruton. Get the score here in term number 2. Boucher to Ebiara, who fires baseline and splashes another 3. He has 10 for the 15 Brisbane have scored in this term.
Well, you could say, well, if it wasn't for Ebiara, but if it wasn't Ebiara, it'd be somebody else. They have that type of team.
Sheridan retreats to Ed Scott. Shot clock to 10 for Sydney. Inside the last 4 minutes of the first half. Sheridan needs to get busy. Goes to Kendall, who looks at the shot clock at the other end. Knows there's not much time left. And off the window, Luke Kendall adds another 2 for Sydney.
Well, he could be 0 for 20, and he'd still hit that shot. He believes he can get it going at any time.
Bradkey switches the ball into the left hand and comes up with his first field goal tonight. Kendall against Gibson. Brisbane have committed 2 fouls so far in this period. Sheridan looking for Beasley down low against Bradkey. The pass wasn't a good one. Bradkey came up with it. Ebiara has 2 to beat, but has support now joining in. They get it to Gibson, who thought about the 3, eventually pulled the trigger and ties the game away.
Ed Scott's trying to yell something. I'm sure his teammates can't hear him. Crowd really getting into it.
Worthington draws a foul on Dylan Boucher. It's the 3rd on Brisbane in this period and the 2nd for the Kiwi international.
Worthington is going to be hard to stop. This is Luke Kendall. You can see the shot clock on the above screen. Gets that thing off just in time. Kings catch a break. That was some very good defense by Brisbane. Forcing the shot clock to get way down like that. They had no options before that either.
Both teams shooting at 50% from the field, which is a good clip when you consider all the D that's happening on and off the ball. Hinder looks for Worthington, who fires quickly. That's off the money. Dylan Boucher grabs the rebound for Brisbane. Ebiara gets it next. Look, a little shake and bake to get down to the baseline. And Ebiara as the one-man wrecking crew here in the second period. He has 12 in this term alone. Brisbane take over for the first time since the first score of the match, and now force a backcourt violation on the Kings.
They've been threatening to do that. the entire first half, Sydney had been coming dangerously close on the shot clock violation.
Bradkey to Ebiara, almost stepped out of court, did well to keep it alive. Fires over Luke Kendall. Couldn't finish it. Boucher getting into the back of an opponent to try for the offensive tip in. That's 3 on Boucher, 4 on Brisbane in this term.
We'll get another look at it. Thing pops up in the air. And Worthington is the one that they accused Dylan Boucher of pushing. Didn't see his hands do it. Must have been with the body. Or maybe Mark Worthington did a good job. And he's just watching the basketball. Nice little, yeah, he got him with that left forearm.
Less than 2 minutes to play in the first half. Brisbane have scored the last 7. Billy Mildenhall supplies the whistle. Foul called on Mark Bradkey. Now that's 5 on Brisbane here in this term. Free throws to come.
Watch him step out and check the cutter. There's a lot of action even after the whistle.
The timeout has been called by the Brisbane Bullets. 1:56 to play here in the first half. Sydney led by as many as 10 in this term. On the back of a 7-0 run, Brisbane are back in front, 45-43. Ebiara doing all the damage, 7 of 10 from the field, 16 points, leads all scorers. Represented Nigeria at the World Championships. Won a championship with the Kings in 2003, but here he is orchestrating all sorts of things for the Brisbane Bullets.
Let's get into him on that end. Let's make sure we get all the extra 1%ers, all right? Ebby, we're going to start here. We're going 21. Hoagie, I want you on the single screen, okay? CJ here, down screen. Ebby, you come off, you're looking for the shot there. If you don't have a shot, you roll back out, space, okay? Re-screen him and go back to work. You roll in here, 4-man pop, okay? Now, when you go here, you go here. So Dylan's going corner, you stay in short corner. Okay. All right, let's go, fellas. Let's go, fellas.
Well, the Brisbane Bullets and Sydney Kings have had some tremendous battles this year. Brisbane won it head-to-head 2-1, but Sydney let a game slip here in Brisbane that we covered exclusively live on Fox Sports, and they led by 7 with 3.5 minutes to play, and Brisbane got home by 4, so certainly the Bullets hold no fears for the Sydney Kings. Interestingly, in the 3 previous matches this season between these teams, the biggest margin at half-time has been 5. And we're heading for something similar here in this one.
I do feel like if one team could blow the other one out, it would be Brisbane has the ability to blow Sydney out, but not the other way around. Sydney has the ability to just hang tough when the games mean a lot, and this one does.
Tied at 45, heading toward halftime. Bradkey and Hinder wrestling off the ball. Foul is going to be called on the Kings. That's going to send Mark Bradkey to the free throw line, where he is 1 of 2 so far tonight.
Well, if you hang on to anybody's jersey, you're going to get a foul called. There's a lot of acting. You know, there's 2 schools of thought on that. You know, you want to get your fair share of calls, but you know, if the only way that you can get a foul called is to sell it, then are we playing basketball or are we going to acting school? You know, Bradkey's out there kicking his legs up in the air. Joey Wright's working on the officials. You know, it's more like getting an Oscar.
Bradkey got a piece of his own rebound. His missed foul shot. Brisbane will have another opportunity. They're 8 of 12 from the stripe. Sydney 13 of 19. They want the big man involved again. Has a mismatch against Jason Smith. Gets the double team that relieves Ebiara. Loose ball. Ed Scott came up with it somehow. And now Worthington charging up the floor. Blue pass. Bradkey. The tip in wouldn't tumble for Russell. Hinder 2 goes begging for Sydney. Gibson to Bruton at the other end. That's flat on the front of the rim, but Bradkey's got it back and adds another 2.
4-point swing. You've got to take advantage of all those. 2 layups missed by the Kings in a row.
Inside the last 60 seconds of the first half, Worthington gets to Ed Scott on the baseline. Pirouetted, turned around, said, that looks good, and adds another 2.
I think he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to get more shots up.
Toby with a loose ball goes to Ed Scott. Jason Smith joining in. Ed Scott takes on Steve Carpino's advice, couldn't finish it. Sydney with another opportunity. Shot blocked at 10, but Ed Scott still retreating away from the rim. Shakes Bruton, feeds Toby in the corner, works inside Boucher. Can't convert it. Worthington in over the back of Ebiara. Can only knock it out of court.
This is Worthington going for the layup. That should have been made. Russell Hinder's tip should have been made. Now, that may sound harsh, but you don't get that many opportunities against the Brisbane Bullets. You got to take advantage of every one.
Bradkey and Ebiara go to the bench. Between them, they have 16 of the 24 the Bullets have made in this second term. Here's McKill, top of the key as we head toward the major break. Gibson with 5 seconds to play. Picks up the dribble, goes to Boucher. Kings deny Brisbane and go from half court. Ed Scott off the front of the rim, and that brings the curtain down on a very entertaining first half here from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, and we are tied at 47. Half time, it's Brisbane 47, Sydney 47 here on Fox Sports. 24-19, Brisbane outscored Sydney in that second period to come from 5 down at quarter time. And we'll hear now from Mark Bradkey.
When we knew this was going to be an intense battle, Sydney came out. They seemed to be handling your pressure, but all of a sudden it looked like you guys are getting deflections, still bouncing Sydney's way. I guess over 48 minutes, you hope that changes.
Well, that's what Joey's sort of emphasising. Look, Sydney's come out great. They've started to play well. And but he said, look, it's 48 minutes. We just got to keep our intensity up. Try and do the things we've been doing. He sort of had a few early shots, which we've got to try and maybe move the ball around, get some offensive boards. But just stay with our game plan. We're still, it's another half, and we believe that if we do those things will turn out in our favour.
Do you feel like that's what you guys have done well all year long? Even when a team plays with you like that, it seems like you have a couple of extra gears.
Well, we're hoping so, hopefully tonight, but it's a tough one. We had a couple of tough ones right for the end of the season, so we're used to it now, and look, that's what playoffs is all about. You want to play against the best and try to beat the best, so it's a great game today, and hopefully it can turn out in our favour.
All right, thanks, Mark.
No worries.
Mark Bradkey right there. We're in a close one, 47-all. It's the semifinals right here on Fox.
Welcome back to Fox Sports exclusively live coverage of the NBL semi-finals. We're coming to you from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre at Boondall. First time Brisbane have played here this season, so they are the road team as well tonight. But don't worry about that. They've won their last 7 matches on the road as part of the 18-game winning streak they have going at the moment, which is the best in NBL history. But here at half-time, it's 47 points apiece, with Sydney doing a good job to keep pace with the leading scorers in the NBL. And a reminder that this is the first of what could be 6 consecutive nights of semi-final action. Tomorrow we go into the other half of the draw to see the Melbourne Tigers, the reigning champs, take on the Taipans. It's live from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time on Fox Sports 3. Cairns coming off that upset victory over Perth, now looking to take out the reigning champions as well. And also coming your way here on Fox Sports, well, last Sunday we had the A-League final. This Sunday we're going to have the Ford Ranger Cup Grand Final, Victoria versus Queensland. Queenslanders have already beaten Victoria twice this season, and with 3 internationals coming back into their team, they'll be hard to beat. And more great action right here on your sports leader, Fox Sports. We're talking about the match here at Boondall between Brisbane and Sydney. Well, both teams have been in patches. Very good. It's been a tough night at the office, and Steve Carpino, it really has been playoff intensity that we were looking forward to.
And both teams have just come out and played super hard, and the other teams have tried to make the adjustments. The Sydney Kings have played probably as best that they can play in this basketball game. Brisbane, I believe they've got a couple more notches in their belt. If you look at Ebiara scoring, you just say, hey, it could be C.J. Bruton, it could be Steve Stephen Black. It could be a number of guys that get hot for the Brisbane Bullets. Do Sydney have that? I don't know, but Brian Goorjian seems to find a way to get his team to stay in the ball game. They played as well as you could play under those circumstances.
Certainly the coaches are having a great battle, as well as those out on the floor at the moment. Let's take a look at the numbers for you here to half-time. Brisbane at 47% from the field, the Sydney Kings 43%. And as we look down, the rebound count important because Sydney, undersized a little against the Brisbane Bullets, are able to get the advantage there. 6 assists to 2. Now Brisbane have been high in the assist category all year, dominated teams, but Sydney are staying in there.
Well, they're really doing a great job in their transition defense. Sydney are running with the Brisbane Bullets. Normally Mick Hill could run by anybody his speed, but he hasn't been able to do that. Sydney have been getting back, forcing them the one shot. They've done a great job at defending. Ebiara gets hot. One of the Brisbane Bullets, if not a bunch of them, can get hot at any single time. That's why I'm saying Sydney can't play any better than that. If they do, well, they're going to surprise me again. They're a team that surprises just about everybody. With every tough set of circumstances, they're able to do it. But give credit to Joey Wright and his Brisbane Bullets. Sydney Kings have played that well, but Brisbane have found a way to stay in the game and put pressure on them the entire time.
We'll put the clamps on in the second period as well with some great defensive pressure. Sydney had 28 in the first term, restricted to only 19 in the second, just 6 field goals here, and a lot of it was because of Brisbane's great D.
The great defense, they're in the passing lanes. They do a great job of pressuring just about everywhere. They're physical. They get into passing lanes. You see Dylan Boucher gets in the passing lane there, and then Sydney have to throw over the top. They do a great job of not turning it over, but some of those executed plays just look like a turnover waiting to happen. All of these things have been on the pressure of the defense for the Brisbane Bullets. Even that, where Sydney had an obvious basket, Mark Bradkey delivers a block shot, and then Ebiara has just been outstanding offensively. They move it through the hands. Gibson with the three-point shot. We talked about a number of guys that can do the damage. That's what Brisbane do. Defensively, they're the type of team that get all of those one-on-none breaks, and that's why I'm talking about. Sydney have handled the pressure, but it has just been by the skin of their teeth that they've been getting it just before the violation of the half court, or just throwing it to a guy that's able to muscle it in before 2 guys get there. It's just been barely beating the pressure. If they can continue to do that, great, but Brisbane's pressure over 48 minutes usually takes its toll.
Well, Ebiara, he is a big game player. We saw him win a championship with the Sydney Kings and CJ Britt in the backcourt. And here, when his team was struggling, he lit it up in the second period, had 12 of his 16 after quarter time. He's the only Brisbane player in double figures.
Well, not often that Brisbane's offense will bog down, but Sydney had done a good job of bogging it down. And then, look at that's just great individual presence by Ebiara going on the mismatch pass, Ian Crosswhite, and then hits a floater. That's a tough shot. So he's mixing it up. He's going to the hoop, and he's shooting the long-range bombs. Cast one off from 3 here. Now, those are just going straight through. Even the misses that he's had, and he hasn't had many, have rimmed in and out, and the ones that have gone down have gone straight through now. Look at that. He's just looking to take anybody. Doesn't matter whether it's a guard or a big man, not waiting for a matchup. He knows his team needs him. That's why he's chalking up those type of stats. 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 outside the three-point line, and his 3 misses outside the three-point line have rattled in and out.
Levy's got 7 field goals. Brisbane as a team only have 17. They're going to need to find another scorer in the second half. But Sydney's great start, well, the platform was set by Ed Scott. He had 9 points in the first term of the 15 that he's come up with. He was 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from deep. And as we see there, reluctantly firing the 3. He's a pass-first player, but he can score as well.
You couldn't put it any better, Case, and he needs to become look like he's going to pass first and score, because he can finish. He can hit the floater. He showed that he can hit the three-point shot when he needs to. Those are the type of baskets that I want to see him continue to make, because it's exciting to watch. See how his aggressiveness turns the defense on their heels, and then he's able to get the open shot. 5 of 8 from the field. Almost perfect from the free throw line, and he's hit those 2 wide open threes. He can do it, and he needs to be more aggressive, because Brisbane's offense is only going to get better, and Sydney need as many scores as they can get. He needs to be one of them tonight.
Ed Scott running the point. Mark Worthington filling up as well for the Sydney Kings in their 1-2 punch. Worthington has 13, including 9 in the second period when his team needed a scoring punch.
Well, I think that Mark Worthington knows if they have any chance of winning this game here in Brisbane, it's going to be on his back, and he is well aware of that. He wants the ball, demands it down on the block, and then when he catches the basketball at the three-point line, he's ready to cast one up. But then he's able to put the ball on the floor as well. As you see by his highlights, he can mix it up inside and out, and he is a force to be reckoned with. You know what that means? 6 shots, he hadn't taken enough. But I tell you, Brisbane have done a good job of trying to clamp down on him because they know he's the #1 target. So he's gotten to the free throw line. He's only had 6 shot attempts, but he's had 8 free throw attempts, and that's a good sign for them. Of course, he can stroke it from the three-point line, but what's most impressive, those 8 free throw attempts. He's hit 6 of them. You know, with a total like that, 16 free throw attempts is a big night.
Exactly right. Well, we are tied at 47. We'll have the second half exclusively live right after this. Welcome back to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. The playoffs are here, and Cal Bruton, Andre Mora in the house, reliving the glory days of when the Bullets were stomping all over teams here in 1987. Always having fun. Now that West Sydney are secure going forward next season, maybe how smiling Stevie might have been given the thumbs up to go around once more after filling in for Mark Watkins, who incidentally is now going to join Brendan Joyce on the Gold Coast as an assistant coach. We are underway. Second half action, game 1 of the best-of-3 semi-final series. Kendall almost lost it to Stephen Black, had to snatch it back. And now Crosswhite wheeling and dealing, almost travelled, couldn't convert it, and now is going to be called for the foul. Third personal on Ian Crosswhite.
And Sam McKinnon, he was trying to feel the body of Sam McKinnon, and the veteran just released the pressure, and he lost his balance.
Bullets go inside. Here's Stephen Black manufacturing a tough shot to come up with 2 more for the Brisbane Bullets as they retake the lead.
As I mentioned at halftime, they have got a number of guys that can get double figures in a quarter. Stephen Black's one of them.
Hinder to Crosswhite. Lob pass for Worthington, posting up the shorter CJ Bruton. He was forced into a quick release shot, couldn't convert it, but Sydney keep it alive as they crash the boards. Sydney with 11 offensive rebounds to just 5. That's how they've been able to stay with Brisbane to a degree. The shot clock to single digits again as Crosswhite posts up the shorter Dusty Reichart. Now Scott firing the 3 off the front of the rim. Crosswhite the offensive rebound. Sydney with another opportunity. Worthington to Scott. Hinder has CJ Bruton on his back, but Ed Scott goes exploring. Now Hinder, bounce pass for Crosswhite. Good D from Reichart, and CJ Bruton with the help. Blocks the shot. Reaching in, Luke Kendall has committed a foul.
The foul called on number 21, Luke Kendall.
Stephen Black with the little scoop. And these are baskets that should be made. That's a good interior feed. You don't have all day to make a move down there. He's a little off balance. But those are good low catches, and you got to be able to capitalize.
Luke Kendall with 4 fouls now, and CJ Bruton breezes into the key to add another 2 for the Brisbane Bullets, and they have the biggest lead of the match that they've encountered. Here's Worthington out of control, lost the handle. Stephen Black on the end of the pass from McKinnon, active hands from Ed Scott. Reichart picks up the pieces, and off the window adds another 2. Brisbane have scored 6 unanswered points to lead by that margin. Big test for the Sydney Kings. Reichart stole the ball, but did it illegally, according to referee Jeff Weeks. Sydney needed that call.
Sure did. They just, that pressure. Another thing that we mentioned at halftime, it's pressure that takes its toll. So you can dodge a couple of bullets, but it just keeps coming.
Kings none of 6 from the field since halftime. Brisbane 3 of 3. took the Kings 2.5 minutes to score to start the match, and a similar pattern has developed here. The start of the second half. Shot clock winding down again for Ed Scott. Rijkaard on the retreat. Hinder got it off with the shot clock expiring in the background. He adds the 2.
And again, great defensive pressure by Brisbane. And they get a good shot, but it takes them 23 seconds.
3 minutes played, term number 3. Bruton wheels around for the triple. Off the front of the rim, Kendall upstairs grabbing the rebound. 28-19, Sydney lead the rebound count. Kendall to Worthington, who forces the issue against Rijkaard, who picks up his 3rd personal.
See, this is one of the things that Worthington does that's underrated. He catches the basketball, and then he goes right into the body of Dusty Rijkaard. So he gets himself in a position, if he makes it, 3-point play. If he doesn't, that's how he gets to the line so often, because a lot of guys try to avoid contact so they can make the shot. He's trying to make a 3-point play and get himself to the free throw line, and that's how you get to the free throw line double figures.
Rijkaard grabs the loose ball for the Brisbane Bullets, who lead by 3. Early stages of the second half, game 1 of the best-of-3 semi-final series. We head to Sydney on Thursday night. Back here on Saturday, if required. Rijkaard got it to McKinnon, who wasn't really ready for the pass. Couldn't finish it. Hinder had the rebound, and then it was stolen away by Dusty Rijkaard, who puts the lid on 2 more. Kendall extending the armbar. Joey Wright chewing the ear of Billy Mildenhall, wanting a whistle. Not getting much in response. Shot clock to single digits. Worthington has McKinnon on the retreat, and that's why he's the best defender in the NBL. Gets another stop for Brisbane. As Bruton hands outside to Stephen Black for the 3. Couldn't connect. Brisbane now 5 of 14 at 36% from deep, as Jason Smith goes backdoor, rejected by Rijkaard. Jason Smith still yet to score in the match. Shot clock to 10 for the Kings. Whistle off the ball provided by Bill Mildenhall. Foul is going to be called on the Sydney Kings captain. And we've got a technical foul on Jason Smith as well now.
He must have said something, because there wasn't much of a reaction. It's a big set of calls there. Everybody in the building thought it was on Stephen Black when Billy Mildenhall motioned that there was a hold. Very rarely does the offensive player hold. But when those guys are jockeying for position, anything's possible.
You got to play under control. You're talking. You can't do that. Can't do that. Come on, no. Now, on the elbow hits, you guys got to get a lead. You might have to stack it up. There's no more full court press. You got to keep being aggressive. You're our guy off that, all right? Now, hey, you can go back to him. You can go back to him, all right, or there. And then we stay in. Now, the other thing is shirt. Keep that thing spread. That's how you get marked, the mismatch in the post. Defense is pretty good. This end of the floor now. Hey, it's early. Forget this. Come on now. If we got the push of the ball, stay in motion. Stack it. You got your elbow hit. You got middle pick and roll. You got shirt. Here we go. Let's go. Okay. Stay together.
Brian knew he had to plug the leaky boat right now. A couple of things mentally getting away. Jason Smith doesn't lose his temper very often. Picks up a technical foul. Already down by 5. There are times in the game where you're playing against a very good opponent. And I like to use those tennis analogies. You're playing against Pete Sampras. What Andre Agassi said, you get like 3 opportunities to beat him, and then it goes away. Well, Brisbane's the same. They've won 18 straight, and you can't make mental errors against them.
Stephen Black has now hit 12 consecutive free throws against the Kings this season. 7-point lead. It's the biggest margin that Brisbane have been in front by. They've outscored Sydney 10-3 since half-time. The Kings 1 of 9 from the field have dried up offensively as Rijkaard short arms from close range. Kings desperate to get some scoring happening. Ed Scott's been providing it for them tonight, looking to shake CJ Bruton. Hands over to Hinder, who fires the three and knocks it down. Quickly up the floor, Dusty Rijkaard, but Stephen Black couldn't find a passing lane to him. McKinnon hands over to CJ Bruton. We've played 5 minutes, term number 3. McKinnon for the triple. Can't convert. Russell Hinder grabs the rebound. Kings lead the rebound count by double figures now, and Hinder has 10 to lead the category in the match. Guarded by Rijkaard. Hinder turns, hands off to Ed Scott. Shot clock winds to single digits. Against McKinnon, Ed Scott forced into a tough one, never looked likely. There's the best defender in the NBL at it again. Bruton spinning on Ed Scott, retreating back the other way and knocks down the shot.
That hurts. They know how to try and humiliate you as well. Great defense by Sam McKinnon, showing you why he's the best defender in the competition. And then CJ Bruton delivers a dagger offensively.
Hinder, nice work to get Ed Scott an open look from three-point territory. Can't convert it. McKinnon's got it again. Ebiara knocked down Ed Scott off the ball. Stephen Black with the three. Can't get that to tumble. Iraq keeps it alive to CJ Bruton, who goes straight back to work. Knocks over Worthington, who's called for a blocking foul.
This is the pressure. Look at Sam McKinnon, stays right there and he goes right straight up. Doesn't swat at the ball, just makes him shoot an even tougher shot. And this is CJ, and this followed that great defense. He goes right at Ed Scott, turnaround jump shot money. Brisbane at their finest.
Brisbane 10 of 14 from the free throw line so far in the match. Sydney 14 of 21. 50% more free throws than their opposition, but it's Brisbane with a 6-point lead and growing. Proud dad enjoying his son's performance at the moment, and CJ Bruton is now the second Brisbane player into double figures. None of 4 from deep in the match though. That just means he is overdue to hit his next three-point attempt. 8-point lead in favour of the Brisbane Bullets. Down low, Mark Worthington is fouled, much to the disappointment of the fans. Stephen Black with a wry smile.
That's a long pass to throw against a team that plays good help defense. Stephen Black anticipating that one, gets a little bit of arm.
Kings have been restricted to only 6 points in this period, and 2 of 12 from the field. BJ Carter tries to ignite them with a long-range three.
When you're guarding him, you just cannot allow him to catch and shoot. That's why he's out there.
Ebiara baseline, got it off quickly but unsuccessfully, and BJ Carter grabbing the rebound, trying to get the ball to Ed Scott to release the pressure. Kings turn it over.
Just a little nervous tension there from BJ Carter. Knows that Brisbane like to attack a guy once he gets a rebound, tries to get rid of that thing before the pressure could come.
Little over 5 minutes to play, term number 3. McKinnon has Worthington on the retreat. Rijkaard presents himself and is rewarded with an easy 2. The third Brisbane player in double figures arrives. 16 points to 9 in this term. Sydney are having trouble scoring, but even more trouble containing Brisbane as Worthington fires unsuccessfully. Hinder got rid of CJ Bruton despite being off balance, falling to the floor, still put up a nice soft shot. And Hinder now has 7 of the 11 Sydney have got in this term, and doing a good defensive job as well as he denies Dusty Rijkaard. BJ Carter coming off a career-high 20, including 6 of 8 threes against Townsville on Friday night. Goes for the penetration, and he is ready to play. The longest-serving player on the Kings roster drags his team back to within 3. But Bruton at the other end fires. Couldn't finish it, but the tip-in is there for Dusty Rijkaard, who's got busy here in the third. Had 4 points at half-time, Dusty Reichardt, and 8 in this term. Ed Scott picks up the dribble. Now Jason Smith. None of 3 from the field. To Hinder. Works the baseline pass. McKill Russell. Hinder is turning it on here for the Sydney Kings. Worthington. Excellent play at the defensive end, and here come the Kings again. Worthington looked off Reichardt, but there's Sam McKinnon to put a stop to it once more. Timeout call by the Brisbane Bullets. 3:26 to play, term number 3. A single 3-point shot separates these teams. It has been quite a contest.
Good cheering, guys. Keep that volume up right now, though. We're doing the lucky prize draw.
Brisbane's defense is emphasised by the block shot line here at the moment. Brisbane with 6 blocks, Sydney 1. And that's why the Kings have only come up with 6 field goals from 18 attempts here in the third.
They're dropping it right now. They're running shakes, okay? Yeah. So drop it. So guard, get up on that. Make sure you don't get too way away from him because he's got that little floater, okay? And that guy that's dropping, if he runs in there and get that floater, block it. Block it. Let's go the other way. The other guy, take 1 step off. Take 1 step off. So that'll be you, Sammy. They'll probably bring Beasley over. So you'll be the one dropping, okay? On the other end, run motion. Run motion, okay? Run motion. Let's get a motion 5, okay? Motion 5. Hoagie, you be the passer. You be the passer, okay? So we'll circle off. Hoagie's gonna pop. We'll cross screen on Sammy, on you. Dive into the block. Brad, get high, okay?
Mark Worthington thought that there was a foul occurred. This is the defense, the help defense by the Brisbane Bullets. A great defensive passage again there, that time by Sam McKinnon. You know, that's what you're coming up against. You have to execute your stuff, and you can't be the type of team that waits till the shot clock goes down because their defense just tightens up then even more.
Bradke's looking for Brad Williamson, but Jason Smith knocks down the pass, and the Kings with another opportunity. They started slowly in this term. They've grabbed some momentum now. In the corner with some problems, PJ Carter retreats to Ed Scott. This hasn't been pretty. And the shot clock winds to 5 now for Sydney as Ed Scott loses his footing. Like a Harlem Globetrotter, looks for PJ Carter. Bullets have got possession. Sydney never looked like scoring on that play face. Mick Hill to McKinnon. Now Gibson working on PJ Carter. Offered a beeline down to the baseline with Bradke's help. It goes unconverted. Beasley puts a stop to it for the Sydney Kings. A little bit of jungle ball going on here at the moment. Important juncture in the match. Brisbane by 3. A little over 2 minutes left in this period. Shot clock to 5. Worthington puts it on the floor against McKinnon. Takes on Bradke as well. Jerome Beasley in a confined space manufactures another 2. His first score since quarter time. 2 minutes to play in this third term. Bradke looks down low for McKinnon. Worthington denies him the ball. It trickles out of court. Brisbane has 10 on the shot clock.
These are the little things they need Jerome Beasley to do. He just has good nose for the ball there. Not believing that that one's going to go down. You believe every shot's going to miss.
Let's restart. Shot clock at 5 as Mick Hill gets it against PJ Carter. To the top of the keys. Going to have to fire a tough one. Gibson gets it off and knocks down a major 3. Well, that will break the heart of Brian Gorge, and his team played good tee. And a buzzer beater from Adam Gibson. And now Mick Hill tangling with Luke Kendall. No love lost there.
Let's see the shot clock. He just gets it off. Man, just gets it off. They scored a 3.
And Adam Gibson 3 of 3 from beyond the perimeter for his 9 points.
That foul was actually called on Sam McKinnon for checking the cutter. That's huge.
4th personal on McKinnon. 4th team foul on Brisbane in this period. Sydney already over the limit since half-time. PJ Carter to Ed Scott. Guarded by Mick Hill. giving him plenty to think about. Beasley with a nice screen. Edgecott goes on with it. Fall away jumper is pretty to watch.
That is why they need him to stay aggressive. Sydney just can't score with Brisbane unless he constantly gets Brisbane in mismatches. Great shot.
Here's Adam Gibson penetrating, kicking outside for Brad Williamson. Shot clock to 10 as Bradkey joins in against Beasley. Muscles his way to the hoop. Can't convert it, and Beasley over the back of Dylan Boucher to grab the rebound and drawing a foul on the Brisbane Bullets as well. Will walk to the other end of the floor for Jerome Beasley to take free throws for the first time in the match.
This is Ed Scott. Watch him hesitate, and he just changes the flight of that one. And Mark Bradkey got good pressure on him, didn't want to foul him when he was going to take a tough shot. And here's the foul where it occurs. Beasley pulls down the board, and they get him across. Ooh, got a lot of ball there. And finally, Beasley gets a break. He'll go to the free throw line.
An unconvincing 47% from the free throw line this season, Jerome Beasley.
They're getting good minutes out of him tonight. It's because he has somebody they can match up with in Mark Bradkey.
Second free throw, a little untidy. Shot clock 20 seconds or 18 seconds, in fact, inside the game clock as we head toward three-quarter time. Brisbane lead by a point. Gibson down low, needing help. Mick Hill provides it. Nice eye on the shot. He gets his first field goal in the game.
Gibson's done a good job of dribble penetration and finding open men.
Luke Kendall for the ball carrying duties harassed by Adam Gibson. Last play, term number 3. We were 47 all at halftime. Kendall to Beasley for the triple. Can't convert it. Bradkey grabs the rebound for the Bullets. Boucher on the buzzer. Can't get it away in time. And with 1 quarter to play, the Brisbane Bullets have a slender 3-point advantage. Three-quarter time here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre reached Brisbane 70, Sydney 67. Here on Fox Sports. That's the third time in 4 matches this year between these teams that they've gone into the final term with a 3-point margin between them.
That's like a quiet victory for Sydney because Brisbane were in a position to really blow this thing wide open. Good timeout by Brian Gorgian. Kept his troops believing in themselves, and a positive comeback for them to get this thing within 3. It looked like a 1-point game, and then Brisbane got a good quick score from Mick Hill. Well, for Brisbane, they've been doing what they do all night long, all season long, really. They've been putting themselves in a position to win, trying to wear their opponent down. They have been doing that tonight. Sydney just haven't cracked under the pressure. I think that was really a moral victory for them.
Got to play defense and push the ball, all right? Now, the best thing you guys do is play off the elbow. Shirt, elbow, all right? It's not shakes. So, shirt and elbow, cut hard, and we want to keep pushing the ball up the floor. And you want to look to pick the ball. So Russ beat him down the floor. Mark set that on ball and pop, stay spread, and move off dribble penetration. You might have to stack. You guys got to work hard to get those elbow catches. We're right where we want to be. Right where we want to be. All right? Shirt now, elbow catches. Shirt, elbows. Now, if we don't have anything, bring him out and middle pick and roll and spread it. We want to keep running. We want to keep running. Play that D. Hey, are we here? Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Brian Gorgian leaving his magic. Joey Wright pumping up his team. But the difference in that third period was that Sydney shut down Ebi Ura, who'd been the focal point of Brisbane's offense. He took just 1 shot in that period. Sydney decided they were going to get beaten by someone else. We get to go here in the 4th period. Brisbane with a 3-point lead and the possession arrow. Ebi Ura Gets past Jason Smith as Hinder on the retreat, a nervous-looking retreat it was as well, but Hinder grabs the rebound. Number 12 for him in that category, which is the best in the match.
See, they don't have to get Ebiara to score. You know, the reason they don't go to him because they've got so many weapons. That's a forced shot.
Single digits on the shot clock for Worthington. Hinder lurking baseline, confronted by Bradkey. Ed Scott must fire, penetrates from close range, couldn't get it above the rim. Boucher with the rebound. Off and running for Brisbane. Pass to Adam Gibson left a little to be desired, but the Bullets have got possession. Ebiara spinning on Hinder, may have got away with a foul. Bradkey scoops up the loose ball, bangs on another 2 for Brisbane. Kendall to Ed Scott. Down low, surrounded, needs support. Kendall top of the key with a big 3 for Sydney. Little lap of honour. Hinder got a piece of it, can't keep it alive. Brisbane with a 5-point lead will get possession.
Good D by Russell Hinder. A little slow to get to that rebound, though. Again, a bit harsh, but those are the plays that Sydney have to make to beat the Brisbane Bullets.
Kendall going for the steal. We have 5 each of those in the categories. In terms of steals, Boucher goes to Bradkey. 10 on the shot clock for Brisbane. Midfield fires the 3. Front and back of the rim. Loose ball scooped up by Adam Gibson. This Midfield working baseline, adding an important 2 for the Bullets.
That's why it takes so much energy against the Brisbane Bullets. They bring guys off of the bench. They're not only fresh, but super aggressive.
Ed Scott. Now Hinder. Worthington from close range off the window. Opens Sydney's account here in the final term. Took them 2 minutes. That's been the pattern of the match, with Sydney's slow start to each of the quarters so far. Bradkey's lost the handle under pressure from Worthington. He'll give it back to Kendall. Reaching in from behind, Adam Gibson picks up his 2nd foul, and it's the 1st here in the final term.
This is Bradkey just handling the basketball a little bit more than he should. Trying to cross over in front of a smaller man.
Ed Scott gets it from Luke Kendall, has Hinder available. He's knocked down this shot tonight and knocks down another. They stood off him, and Russell Hinder now with 14 points in the game, along with 12 rebounds.
Well, some guys step it up when the games are big, and Russell's doing that. Loose basketball. Boucher gets it blocked.
No surprise to see Boucher come up with it. He's rejected. Kings have numbers. Kendall to take the lead. Couldn't get it to tumble. And Mark Bradkey grabs an important rebound for the Brisbane Bullets. His 7th. And no one on his team has more than that.
Now they have numbers on that one. You know, great if it goes in.
Ebiara in traffic. He's got knocked down. Brisbane with 9 on the shot clock as Bruton, Reichardt and Sam McKinnon check in. Bradkey, Dylan Boucher and Mitkill will go to the bench.
This game's just going at a wicked pace. Hard to play those centers unless they're playing against one another.
Ebiara inside Ed Scott, confronted by Jason Smith. Look for the wraparound play for Reichardt. Shot clock about to expire. That is after the event. The Brisbane fans are silent. They beat the buzzer once before with Adam Gibson. This time they don't. So credit the Kings D. They've restricted Brisbane to 74 points so far, and this team has only been under 100 twice this season. And that was way back in September and October. Shot clock to single digits as Jason Smith goes to Ed Scott. Worthington against McKinnon. Fires the 3. It's well short. Adam Gibson gets after the rebound for the Brisbane Bullets. Brisbane by 2. Played almost 4 minutes here in the final term. CJ Bruton. It's Gibson involved once more. Shot clock rolls to single digits. Riker against Hinder. Shows him the ball. Fires from as far away as he's been tonight. And Riker knocks down another 2.
It's a crucial time in the game. Well, obviously here in the fourth quarter, but both teams look a little tired for the first time tonight.
Ed Scott penetrating. Has Hinder available when Solo came up with nothing. Ebiara takes it from McKinnon. Confronted by Hinder, looks at some penetration, danced around a couple of would-be defenders, adds another 2. Brisbane enjoy a 6-point lead. Gibson stolen it away from Kendall, will make another 2. The Brisbane Bullets have an 8-point lead. And timeout called by the Sydney Kings as the fans climb to their feet here in Brisbane.
This is just great defense. Just a little bit lazy against a very good defender. Talk about fatigue setting in too, and that defense is so constant. And Adam Gibson is so tough of a defender on the basketball, kind of like Brad Robbins for the Perth Wildcats.
Gibson's had a great match. 11 points so far.
Up and down the court, all right? We're not doing it right now. Everybody sprint every possession. Every possession. They're doing a decent job of containing the first outlet pass. If they're going to put that much pressure up front, let's get it and go. Now we're playing at our speed. All right, let's get the ball out and run every time. Rebound it, get a stop, and run. Let's go, fellas, right here. Crosswise back in, so make sure we get matchups, all right? Down here, one stop right here, fellas, one stop. Make sure we talk it up. Look for them to run thumbs, and they've been running shirts. Shirts is just flex, okay? Thumbs, heads, and over the top. Let's go, fellas.
This is, as I mentioned before, but it's a pivotal part of the game for a different reason now, because Joey Wright has really let the dogs out, and they're going to run on every possession. That means quick shots. Now, if they make those shots, we're looking at a blowout. A blowout of like maybe double figures. They miss these shots, they allow Sydney to get back into the game. So what's it going to be? We're about to see.
Brisbane has scored the last 6 points. We've played almost 5 minutes in the final period. Game 1 in the best of 3. Ed Scott to Worthington, the only man on the floor who scored in all 4 quarters. He works to the baseline against the league's best defender. Forces one up, never looked likely. Loose ball grabbed by Ed Scott. Worthington down on the baseline. Shot clock goes off in the background. And this Brisbane defense has been awesome. Momentum clearly with the Queenslanders as Jason Smith is called for the foul. His 3rd personal, first on the Kings in this period. Likewise, Brisbane has committed 1 foul since 3-quarter time. McKinnon takes on Worthington. Fall away, wasn't on, went for the pass. Now Gibson has it. CJ Bruton working on Worthington, kicking outside when McKinnon fires the 3.
Brisbane up in the ante on both ends of the floor. You could see their defense has been tough for a few minutes now, but their offense kicked into another gear.
Bullets have scored the last 9. They have an 11-point lead, the biggest margin we've seen at any stage tonight. The Kings go to Worthington from close range. They needed that.
If you can withstand the pressure, they're out on all the passing lanes. You can get some guys pop open around there.
Gibson kicks to Ebiara, who's overdue.
We talked about them up in the ante, running more, getting quicker shots, but they're knocking them down.
The fans are feeling good in Brisbane at the moment. Their team leads by 12. Kings have single digits on the shot clock. Jason Smith comes up with a big play. What a time to produce your first field goal. CJ Bruton has Ed Scott on the retreat. Spinning one way, back the other. Now he's surrounded, forces up a tough one, can't convert. Jason Smith grabs the rebound. And the Kings with another opportunity as Worthington retreats to Ed Scott. Less than 5 minutes to play. Jason Smith touch pass for Crosswhite, who put it on the floor, and Adam Gibson stole it away. Excellent work from Adam Gibson. 20-year-old, one of the youngest players in the NBL, but playing above those years tonight with an impressive display. Ebiara can't convert. McKinnon the offensive rebound. Brisbane reset, looking to build on a 9-point lead. Nice pass from Ebiara to Reichardt. It's waved away as he knocks down BJ Carter. It's an offensive foul on Reichardt. That's his fourth. Already McKinnon has 4, and so does Dylan Boucher.
Good anticipation by BJ Carter. He takes the hit. Brisbane don't like it.
The clock working against the Sydney Kings. They're down by 9. Ed Scott pulls up with a dribble and helps himself to another 2. He now has 19 points, and only Ebiara with 21 has more in the match. Toby now has the job on Ebiara. McKinnon guarded by Worthington. Stephen Black and BJ Carter tangle off the ball. Reichardt under defensive pressure couldn't finish it. The offensive rebound spills to McKinnon, and the Bullets with another opportunity. Reichardt from close range adds the 2. Reichardt's had a big second half, only 4 at half time and 12 since then. Timeout called. 3:29 left on the clock here. Reichardt extends the lead out to 9. When these teams played back in round 15, the team that had the advantage on that occasion was by 7 with 3.5 to play. Didn't win the match. Don't write off the Kings just yet.
Russ, get toe. Ed, slide back in. Jay.
Shoot away. 4.
Now, hey, listen. The way they play, you're still in this thing if we can rebound. All right? Now, we want to go middle pick and roll. We want to spread that floor, or we want to go shakes. All right? On the shake set, they're pushing that thing down, so you want to set that screen flat. Ed, same dribble penetration, and this wing guy wants to go through and we lift. You got me on that? You know what I'm talking about. All right? Set the screen flat, slide, lift, fill behind, and middle pick and roll. Hey, we're full court. Full court, spread. Here we go, no more timeout. Hey.
Sounded like the last roll of the dice for the Sydney Kings, Steve.
That's exactly what it is. If they're going to spread it out, well, they want to spread it out offensively, but if they are pressure in full court, they're going to be very thin, and Brisbane they're in attack mode. That's how Brisbane decided they're going to go and win this game.
We're seeing why Joey Wright was voted Coach of the Year. He's left Adam Gibson out there in a very tough situation, but he's played well enough to be there, so he stays there as Russell Hinder comes up with a nice finish. 7-point ball game. A little over 3 minutes to play. Reichardt, tough shot, couldn't convert it under defensive pressure. Ed Scott retreats to Hinder, who puts it on the floor against Reichardt. Did enough to worry him out at the points. The push is called on the Brisbane Bullets, their 3rd team foul.
That's the seal. Russell Hinder with another good move. He goes nice and strong, just can't put it up soft enough. Adam Gibson with the illegal push. It's a good call, but that's what he's there for. I mean, he's just not going to allow somebody to get an offensive rebound. He's going to cheat.
Hinder working on Reichardt, running out of room. The pass did no favours for Mark Worthington, and now Reichardt with Ebiara in support. He goes to work, fouled by Hinder. Second personal on Russell Hinder, second team foul on Sydney in this term. But Ebiara off to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Ed Scott just missed that pass. Good anticipation. Russell Hinder making sure they get no freebies.
Ebby's been 69% from the free throw line this season. Takes 50% on this occasion. With an 8-point lead, 2.5 to play. Is looking sizable. Ed Scott pulls up against Gibson. Couldn't finish it off the front of the rim. Adam Gibson calls timeout. Brisbane Bullets with 2:23 left on the clock, lead it by 8. They've outscored Sydney 19-14 since three-quarter time.
Probably not the shot they wanted by Ed Scott, but you know he's got to take a few bad ones. If he's going to be aggressive, you got to give him that license, and that's a shot he's capable of making. Probably a little early in the offense, and hadn't really gelled it up too much. Even if he missed that one, no shot at an offensive rebound because not a whole lot of movement. Went a bit early.
Hey, we're going to be in 5 defense, all right? Dusty, you're coming out on this possession. Mick, you're playing the 4. We're making. You got Dusty here, you're playing the 4 on this one. CJ, you got Gibbo on this possession. Huh? You're getting in on this one, all right? You're going in for Gibbo right now, okay? We're spreading on that end of the court. We'll have a mismatch. Spread, run down the clock, look to attack off that mismatch. Because I want to switch onto the big, all right? Yeah, you switch. No, switch it. You're right. Take it. Let's go. You switch on the word. You switch word on. You take the big.
And Joey's called some good timeouts as well. Been talking about Brian's coaching job, mostly because he's so underrated in this game. Should I say he is the underdog in this game, so he's done a great job of staying close, and Joey's done a great job of keeping his team's identity of attacking even when they have a lead.
Well, he might be underrated as well, Steve. He hasn't won a Coach of the Year title for 5 years. Which is quite amazing. Here's Mick Hill penetrating. Can't complete it. Jason Smith with a rebound for the Sydney Kings. Hands off to Ed Scott. Need to get busy, the Sydney Kings, and Jason Smith with a good look at the 3, can't complete it. Loose ball. BJ Carter came up with it, but a foul is called on Mark Worthington in the process. That's his 4th, and the 3rd on Sydney in this term.
We'll get a look at it. Joey liked it.
Reaching in, Ed Scott trying to dislodge the ball from CJ Bruton and eventually has success. Jason Smith has Ebiara on the retreat. Goes for the triple. Can't complete it. BJ Carter baseline. That's short as well. Loose ball lands in the lap of Russell Hinder. He gets the 2, draws a foul. The Kings aren't done with just yet.
And BJ Carter shot a quick one after getting a great offensive rebound. He shoots a quick one. I think the ball may have been tipped. Russell Hinder bails him out with a great offensive rebound. You just can't say that Sydney's out of any game.
Makes the back end. 95 seconds to play. Brisbane by 5. Kings mount their fight back. They were down by 12 in this period. Shot clock rolls to single digits for Sam McKinnon. Kicks outside where Stephen Black's ready to go. That's off the front of the rim, but Brisbane get the offensive rebound and another opportunity.
So Brian said if we can rebound with them, their style will give us chances.
Mick Hill happy to milk the clock for the moment. 65 seconds to play. Again, the shot clock to single digits as Mick Hill works on Hinder to the baseline and gets the conversion. Going to be tough for the Kings now. They're down by 7. Ed Scott looks for Hinder down low. Rejected by McKinnon. Oh, the defensive glove. Sam McKinnon shuts them down again.
Sorry, guys.
Great defenders, even when they're beat, make plays. And Sam McKinnon comes up with a huge one. Time running out for Sydney.
7-point ball game. Kings with 15 on the shot clock. BJ Carter having trouble restarting. And we shouldn't be surprised by that. Brisbane have been the defensive team this year, getting stops when they're needed. And that was a big play.
Got to throw it off somebody's leg or something. You just can't take a 5-second violation there. Got to roll the dice.
McKinnon back to Stephen Black. Shot clock to 10 for the Bullets. Mick Hill gets it back from McKinnon, penetrates, fires over Jason Smith, who rejected the shot. Excellent D from the Kings captain, but Brisbane have got it back again, and now with the shot clock and game clock in unison, they'll get it to Stephen Black, and the Kings will foul him. The best foul shooter on the Bullets lineup will go to the free throw line, and it looks all over.
Jason comes up with the big play. And Mick Hill keeps it alive. Jason Smith couldn't grab the thing because Mick Hill tapped it out of his hand. That's a big play.
I don't think that's right, Shane.
It's the 4th foul in this period on the Kings.
They're talking about the shot clock because Jason Smith
got blocked in the air. Jason never got possession of the ball here. We got a reset.
He's right. He is dead right.
We were at 23 and the ball got reset. They didn't hit the ring. Go reset. Ball got blocked. Hit the ground. No one picked it up. Brisbane got it out. It was 23. We've gone 6 from there. Up. The ball got blocked. He hit the ring. Sydney never took possession. Brisbane got the ball. We had a reset. So we know what the 24 was on. That was when it was set. That was when it was reset. So what was it prior to that? That's my point. We lost 6 once it was reset.
It was at 5 seconds, and they reset it when Jason Smith blocked the shot. Here you go, right there. Look at the shot clock. He shoots it. It's at 6 seconds now.
Hang on a second.
It's at 6 seconds. And they reset it. The ball came nowhere near
Reset was at about
the hoop.
5. They got the ball at 23. The ball's gone around. We've lost 6 seconds. Get my point? It's gone past it. I'm saying it's a 24-second violation. Based on the drop down from 26 to 17. 24, yellow ball.
The shot clock violation has been called on the Brisbane Bullets.
The ball got blocked. No one got possession. The ball hit the ground. It was reset. 6 seconds went off it. They told me it's 5. It's a 24 violation. Sub.
Well, a foul was called on Russell Hinder in the process, so that would negate what Michael Allen is on about at the moment.
Someone get. We're saying you never took possession.
There's 17 seconds to play. Sydney down by 7, need a quick score. Let's get back to the action. Jason Smith against Mick Hill. Pulled the trigger on the 3. There was contact and no whistle. Ebi Iraq keeps it alive. Reaching in. Sam McKinnon's there again to defuse the situation. Fans get to their feet because the streak is still alive. Brisbane have won 19 in a row, but more importantly, for the first time since 1993, they've won a semi-final. It's game 1 of the best of 3, and Brisbane 91 have beaten Sydney 84 here on Fox Sports. 21-17 in the final period, extended Brisbane's 3-point lead at three-quarter time to a 7-point margin. Brisbane restricted to less than three figures for the first time since the 15th of October, some 28 games ago, but it's enough to get the job done. They'll head to Sydney for a Friday appointment to try and wrap it up in straight games and get to the grand final. And their former King star, Ebiara, did a lot of the damage. Here he is with Steve.
Well, Ebby, you came up big in the first half, but they didn't need you as much offensively, but then they tried to get you to basketball in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what we were just trying to do, you know, playing the game. On this team, you don't have to really be an offensive threat all the time, you know. You get to pick and choose your time. Sometimes Sam going to be going off. Sometimes Blackie going to be going off. CJ, me. You know, it's all about who get hot at what time. Second half, we came out, CJ and Blackie got to the basket a couple of times, Dusty, so we kept going to them. And that's what's a big part of this team's winning success. Don't nobody worry about who's scoring and who's getting the points. All that matters is that we're getting them on the board.
And that was a really good timeout where Joey said, look, let's put the pressure on them. You get a shot, you get a move, take them to the basket. You guys are being too tentative and looked like you guys took off from there.
Yeah, that's what we did. We put the pressure on them, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We put the pressure on the teams. You know, we try to draw the contact of the fouls, and we try to get after them and make them play a faster-paced game because we're a smaller team than every other team in the league.
It looked like at halftime, Sydney played about as well as they could play. It looked like you guys had a couple more gears, but Sydney still stayed pretty tough. Were you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised. You know, Gorgon is a great coach. He's going to have them boys prepared for everything. That's why every time they play a game, you know, they may lose some games, but they always play every game tough because they're a tough team, tough-minded, tough coach.
Thanks, Hebby.
All right, thank you.
Brian Curl and Cal Bruton are celebrating as well. The Brisbane Bullets are now one victory away from their first grand final since 1990. And the action continues here on Fox Sports. Tomorrow we're live from Melbourne. All these matches at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Melbourne v Cairns on Fox 3 tomorrow. Game 2 of this series heads to Sydney on Thursday night as they take on Brisbane. Then we're in Cairns on Friday, and if Game 3s are required, it's Brisbane and Sydney on Saturday, Melbourne versus Cairns on Sunday. Stick around, this is the best ride in basketball in Australia at the moment, and Brisbane on a 19-game winning streak is smelling the championship. They led by 3 points at three-quarter time, got it out to 12, and then withstood the charge from the Sydney Kings to prevail by 7. Brisbane 91, Sydney 84. That's 19 in a row and counting.
This has been a Fox Sports production.